Good morning to any replayers. If you're a replayer, you can still participate. Tap on the screen for hearts, especially if I'm saying something that resonates with you. You can, hi Anthony, you can share this broadcast with anybody you think needs to hear a bit of the message that I talk about. And you can, of course, follow me on Twitter or Snapchat, Brickhouse Chic, and you can ask me questions there. Again, always happy to answer questions regarding the broadcast or just your personal financial situation. Good morning, everybody. If you're joining live, welcome. I think, yesterday's Periscope, I didn't see a lot of people on it, and then I looked at my stats afterwards, and there was a lot of people, and that's happened before. Hi, $2 market. Oh, great. And so, I'm on, if you're joining me live, my name is JoannazarachAch, and I do a daily money habits broadcast. I broadcast 7 days a week. Thank you for sharing this. And I broadcast at 10 a.m. You can find me on Twitter. At joannazarach, so same exact handle as here. And if you can't direct message me, like just tweet at me and say, scope question, I'll follow you back so you can direct message me. You can go on Snapchat, actually. I think Snapchat's a very powerful tool to communicate with people and also to just get to know them. So if you're not on Snapchat yet, get on Snapchat. I highly recommend it. I've been on it for about a month and a half. I'm telling you, it's just like a really low barrier to communication. So find me there. It's the same handle. Hi, Kimmy. It's at joannazarach. Yeah, Snapchat's super easy because you can text or you can video message. It's so interesting because I do Snap stories. I don't keep up on it like as religiously as I do Periscope. But, I have people watching and asking me questions on there because you can react to that in your own time and then I can react back. One of the limitations of Periscope, it's hard to, it's a group experience. So it's hard to address individual needs. But on Snapchat, you can do both. So I highly recommend it. Hi, everybody that's joining. Again, 7 days a week, I do a 10 a.m. broadcast on money habits. And why do I do a money habits broadcast? Because getting into a habit of looking after your money is one of the key things that you can do to really get on the path to financial freedom. And that's what I advocate. I think that if we all make it a goal to become more financially independent or financially free, it's really, to me, financial freedom means not having to worry about paying for your needs. Not all your wants, but all your needs. It's to getting to that point where you know that you can choose to do with your time, your gifts that you can utilize in the world are not tied to your needs. And that's really all it's about. And so I advocate for people to take control over their money in very specific ways, right? It's about awareness of your finances. It's using the tools that are available, and it's becoming more conscious and conscientious about your money habits. And both in sort of a lot of habits when it comes to money, people don't examine. They don't look at their spending. They don't look at their beliefs on their earnings. They don't diversify their income. They don't invest, right? A lot of anxiety around money, and a lot of it is brought on by uncertainty. And actually, just this morning, I was reading an article in Time magazine. It was just very brief, and it talked about how we're much more anxious about uncertainty. Like the experience of the unknown is much more painful to us than the anticipation of a bad thing, which is amazing, right? Like not knowing where the future will bring us, good or bad, is actually worse than knowing a bad thing is coming. And so I think a lot of people accept their sort of financial prisons because the knowing knowing the bad is like, it's actually less painful than being uncertain. And I want you to feel more confident, to know that there's a certainty of success. But knowledge is very, very powerful. Knowing what will happen in the future. And the thing is, though, that most people in finance will tell you, well, I can't guarantee you a return. And that's true. But I can't guarantee you don't get run over by a bus either, right? But like, I'm pretty sure I'm still going to look twice before I cross the street. I'm not just going to walk, right? I'm going to use a crosswalk. So yes, there are no guarantees, but I can tell you that if you take these steps, you will be better off. So yeah, use wisdom. Hi. Hi, Lizette. So what do I want to talk about today? Okay, it's reaping the benefits of your work and being patient. Here's the two things I want you to reflect on today. Hi. And I want you to think about the two things. One is I want you to commit to taking some action in your financial life, right? And I talk about the same things over and over. No, this is America. No. It's start tracking your money, right? Start paying attention to it. Set up the system. And I'll tell you why. So I've had this Mint account set up, and actually my husband set it up at first because I was really busy at the time, and he's like, let's set it up. Yes, I don't know, like Russia. Commit to taking action, right? And so set up a mint.com account and organize your finances, right? Become aware of your financial cash flow, where your money's coming from, where it's going. Get a hold on all of your money, right? Know where all of your money is. Don't neglect the 401k that you've left in another job. Don't neglect the little money. Don't neglect the big money, right? Get a whole financial picture, and you will be then in a position to start enacting change. The other thing that's really important is you're going to start seeing changes happen, right? Yes, mint.com. That's right. It's a free online tool. It's been around for a long time now. And it is just a very powerful place where you can get all your financial life in one spot. So I'll tell you why. So the next thing you do is you start automating everything, right? Every personal finance person's like, start taking yourself out of the room where there is room for error. Right? And a lot of people get a lot of anxiety about it, right? Because they see money as something that there is not enough of, right? So when you have this, if you've ever run out of money, you will be more hesitant to automate. And I need you to start using a perspective on creating a mindset where you have enough. Like having a buffer, right? That's determine what your buffer is. And then start doing your planning in higher and higher decimal points. So here's what I mean by decimal points, because I was thinking about this morning as I was doing, I log into, this is what I do, guys. This is why I talk about it. I logged into my mint.com account. I looked at my credit card bills that are automatically getting paid. And they get paid every month at the same time. And little Mint gives me a little like, here are the bills that are coming up and this is the amounts. And that just means that cash is going to change hands from my bank account to my credit card account. Good morning, Sandy. So, this is important. Why? Because I've automated all those processes. Here's what's happening. I have gotten busier in the last couple weeks, like a lot busier. And all of a sudden, my capacity to pay attention to some of the things is going down, right? So now I have to kick in and know, first of all, because I've automated, I don't have to worry about any penalties or any delays. I don't have to take a lot of action. All I need to do is monitor at this point, right? This is what I'm talking about. Like set up that first stage and start monitoring. And this is what I was reflecting on. I'm like, I am so glad that I've done this, that I have a system, that I have a place to go to check on it. I don't have to log into 10 different places. I have a set of rules. This is the thing. When it comes to money, you've got to make your set of rules. And you know what I'm thinking about? I think I need to write those rules down. Again, what talking about this has made me do, no worries with automation. But make up a set of rules. So one of the things that I've done is when I talk to you guys about something, I go, oh my God, I do all these things in my head. So I'm going to write down my rules. I'm going to write down like a set of rules that I use around just with my Mint and my tracking. But it's about a certain level of balances that I keep, right? And what happens is when that changes, I go, okay, I need action. The actions are all based on rules. And then again, if you have a set of rules that are consistent, then you can automate them, right? And actually, I haven't automated it. I don't even know if it'll let me transfer balance based on the amount of balance. Maybe it will. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll do that. But there's certain things that I don't mind doing because, again, my income is not steady. Like I don't get a paycheck, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur or I'm a solopreneur. So I don't have the known on that part. Anyway, so automating and setting up and aggregating. So aggregation and automation, thank you so much, Anthony. The aggregation and automation are just the foundations. So if you haven't done that, I really think that not only to get a hold of your current situation, but into the future. Here's why. A lot of people will say, my situation is not that complicated. I only have a couple bank accounts. I have one credit card. I understand, but I want your situation to get more complicated. Why? Because I want you to become an investor. So that's why I want you to start when it's not that intimidating, because your future self will thank you, right? And that's the other thing. So think of the things that you've done in the past that have enabled you to get to where you are today. And here are some things that you may not know. Not everybody in the US has a bank account. Not everybody has credit cards. Not everybody has access to the internet and automated payments and all that. So all of these things that you've done, do not take them for granted. Understand that you've laid a foundation and participated in the system. If you've ever opened a 401k, know that you're ahead of a lot of people, right? And so, that would be the next thing, right? If you've kind of had your tracking, your aggregation, and your automation set up, because I think it's such a big world and so uncertain that people don't reflect on what it is that they've already accomplished. So look at that and say, I've built up a foundation, but this is the challenge. Now think about what it is that you don't have and think about what your future self needs, right? And this is where we come to investing, or learning about investing, learning about taxation, and again, income being something that's more in your control than you believe. So should everybody have a business? Hello from Mexico. Well, everybody should aim to have some small component, even if it's small at first, that's independent of another person. And that's what I mean by a business, right? Everyone should aim to make income. And if you guys follow Sandy, Yes, I Am Cheap, she talks about her Amazon knowledge, which is like, I watch her Amazon stuff because I don't sell stuff on Amazon. I don't know about it. And that's like, hey, you can start doing that. You can sell on eBay. You can sell on Etsy, right? What is it that you can you have to start controlling your income somehow. You have to do something that gains you even $10. Yes, I am cheap, Sandy. Sandy, if you're on, I'll put some emojis up so people can follow you if they don't. So that's it. But think about, what does the future self need, and start taking steps today to make sure that you are set up, right? And so this is where I talk about the consumer to investor mindset. I want people to convert from consuming to investing. There is no way that you can participate in our current society. If you still have a 9 to 5, you gotta figure out how you can make money. How can you sell, right? If you're looking for inspiration, if you just don't know, Smart Passive Income blog by Pat Flynn is an excellent resource. He goes, looking to invest. So we'll talk about it. But first, generating income, Smart Passive Income. I like AppSumo. If you go to AppSumo, this Noah Kagan, he's got a lot of ideas and a lot of ways to overcome your own objection. You might have to research. He has a couple of different sites, but look for interviews with Noah Kagan. Hey, even Tim Ferriss. Look for Tim Ferriss interviews some really successful people. He does a lot of shortcuts, right? A lot of people think, oh well, I don't have time to start a business because they think it's all or nothing, right? Stop thinking in the all or nothing criteria, right? Hello. So make sure you're making extra income. Why do I emphasize it? There's a few things that happen when you make extra income. It makes you more aware of taxation. I think taxation is one of the most forgotten things when it can get a lot of leverage, and you need to start understanding taxation. And so then the third thing is get to investing. And I always say, start investing in the simplest way possible. If a 401k, this is US obviously based, if a 401k or a 403b, I'm doing great, thank you. If a 401k, 403b, 457 plan, a thrift savings plan, whatever plan is available for your work. And if you don't know, go to your HR department on Monday and say, do I have a retirement plan that's available to me? And if I do, how much am I contributing on it? And if it's a percentage, make sure you translate the percentage to dollars. Like if it's 3%, stop thinking percentages, start thinking dollars. How many dollars are you contributing to your retirement plan, right? I always tell, start the simplest path of least resistance, guys. You don't need to optimize. You just need to start. So path of least resistance, start with a 401k. All of a sudden you own stocks. You don't know which ones because they're probably in a mutual fund and you don't know how much you're paying for that yet. But you know what? We'll get there. We'll get to the level of sophistication when you start. And people always want to go, okay, I'm here. How do I jump to over here? Well, you don't. You walk. You take the little baby steps. You walk, right? Even investing, you've got to take baby steps in investing. And when you listen to someone who's been doing it for a really, really long time, it can be very intimidating. And sometimes you're like, I just want all your wisdom all at once. I'm like, yeah, I can give it to you, but it's not that helpful because you haven't taken the baby steps. And again, you can do it faster. You can get there faster when you listen to other people. But you need to do that. And so what happens when you do, when you take those investing baby steps? Here's what happens. This is what's happening to me. For a long time, I was investing, IRAs, 401ks, very simple. And it was just there, right? I wasn't even paying attention to it, right? But it started so long ago. And what happens is that at first, you don't notice the difference. The differences in what your accounts are earning is ups and down, or the market. Sometimes it goes down, like we've all gone through the crash. And so you're not feeling it. You're not feeling the impact of that compounding in the time. But there will come a time when you're going to start examining your net worth, and it's going to start going up. And you go, wait a minute. Market went up, my net worth went up, and then over time you're going to start seeing that it's just growing at such a pace that you are really so retirement savings. So if you have your own business, here's my advice. If you're a solopreneur means that you're the only employee in your business. Which, by the way, there's a lot of, you don't have to have only one business. This is the thing. You can have multiple businesses. So you may have a business with employees. You may have a separate business, but it's just you. So if you have a business that it's just you, or you and your spouse, you can do an individual 401k. And I'm trying to teach. This is one of the things that I think is not well known because there's no one that's really, no one's selling it to you, right? That's why you don't know about it. Individual 401k. So you can set up your own retirement plan for yourself. And you can contribute the max to it, right? So, and I encourage everyone who has a business to do that, to not think of just the business as income generating, but as your part of your retirement plan. And those individual 401ks are very, very powerful. Why? Because you get to decide how much of your profit to give, up to 25%. That's after the employee contribution. Vanguard, 100%. Anyone who's ever been in my broadcast, I'm going to recommend Vanguard. And why do I recommend Vanguard? Because it is a fact that they are the lowest cost provider. They have the lowest fees of their mutual funds, and they don't charge you extra for all these things. I have an individual 401k plan through Vanguard. You can set it up yourself. It costs me nothing to set it up. It's to administer it. I think I do one form. I didn't do a lot of forms. Now I think I have to do one form a year. And don't get intimidated. Vanguard gives you enough instructions. Then just have to have faith or confidence that you can fill it out and just send it in timely to the IRS. So Vanguard. You can go to Vanguard.com, look for your small businesses. You may have to have, when you become an administrator of your own individual 401k plan, you'll have to have 2 different logins to Vanguard, which is interesting. It's like wearing 2 different hats. It's like when you have a business, you're the employer and the employee. So you just need to kind of, make yourself a little flow chart of how do I need to contribute. But Vanguard is what I recommend. There are other companies that I'm sure are also making these available. I can tell you for a fact that Vanguard is going to be your lowest cost option. So yeah. You can set up your IRAs through Vanguard as well. And again, Vanguard doesn't pay me anything. I've just been a customer of Vanguard since 1998. And they've done right by me, right? As in, they come through on their promise. They truly are the lowest cost for the mutual funds, and they don't charge me for administering it. And the thing is though, because I do so much to Vanguard, like now I've built up enough where I'm like one of their, not the most premium customer, but they kind of start giving you perks after you consolidate your accounts. So after a while, they're like, wait a minute, we've done right by you by not charging you a lot. You've gained a lot you've been contributing, and now you accumulated this much money. So now we're going to give you some extra services. I haven't leveraged a lot of their extra services. One time I had someone review my do a financial plan. They had an option where you can get one time or once a year, like a certified financial planner, run your investments through a software, and they would kind of give you some insights on how you could do it better. But you just still have to do it yourself, right? That's the other thing. Vanguard's don't do it yourself. So if you're intimidated, and if you want someone else to manage your money, you can pay someone else to do that. And you may not be writing them a check, but they will take it out of your account. And you may never get a statement with how much it was. It'll just be in the fine print, 2% on the mutual funds, 0.5% for this, 0.5% for that. And the money just disappears. So, but that's what's going to happen. You have to put in the work. You have to educate yourself. I've talked about the free resources for financial courses that are available. There are 2 courses on edX.org that I know about that are starting in April, and they're both free. One is from University of Michigan, and one is from Berkeley, edX.org. So take your financial classes. There's so many people giving away free financial classes. If you go to financialmentor.com, Todd Tressler's terrific. He gives away for the 50, I don't know if he does it anymore. He's revamping his site, but he was giving away the 52 weeks, how to get your financial life in order, because he wants to help people who accumulate wealth to get even wealthier. But he's like, I'm not going to try to teach you this stuff. If you're still at the level pre-investing stage, I want you to get, to get better. So there's plenty of free resources. The thing is though, it's going to be on you. It's going to be on you to put in the work, right? If you're going to wait for someone else to do it for you, it's never going to happen. And when it does, they're going to charge you a lot of money for it. Why? Because it's a highly valued skill. And you can reap the benefits for yourself by putting in the work. And it's not like you have to have a full-time job in managing your money. It's like the things that I advocate is, you've got to get over that hump of starting, right? Get over the resistance, get over the unfamiliarity of something. But look, you're on Periscope. You figured out how to get on Periscope. You figured out how to get on Facebook. You figured out how to make a Snapchat. You figured out all these things. So figure out your money. And I know a lot of people look at their money and it makes them anxious. Why? Because they feel like it's not enough. Be comfortable with where you are. If you get comfortable and get in control, and then start strategizing. How am I going to get more income? How am I going to get more savings? How am I going to get more investing? What's my debt plan? And then start executing. Then start looking where you were a year ago, right? This is the thing. When you start seeing progress, you're going to become more confident. If you take action, you're going to be like, hey, I am an investor. I do invest. And that's the thing. People think investing is something that you have to do actively, like buy a stock that's going to magically change your, be the lottery ticket. No, just you are an investor if you're participating in capital markets that has created a lot of wealth for a lot of other people. So why not you, right? Give yourself permission to participate in the in our capitalist system. So that's really it. I mean, I think that that's what I really wanted to talk about today. You're somewhere along the financial journey, and it's a long journey, by the way. It's a lifelong journey. This is one of those journeys, just like health, just like relationships. Financial journey is something you have to be on. And if you're letting money happen to you, that's the victim mentality. That's the same thing as saying that people don't like you and you're alone because no one's going to spend time with you. You need to put in the effort. You need to work on yourself. You need to improve yourself and to improve your money. So health, relationships, and money, those are lifelong journeys, and you need to start being an active participant. You need to get in the driver's seat. Stop looking out the passenger window, hoping that some scenery is going to come by, and all you're seeing is just the same. You're stuck in an alley, and all you see is a brick wall, and you go, I know people talk about the mountains, but I keep looking out the passenger window. No one's in the driver's seat. You're just sitting in the passenger window, looking at a brick wall because you're stuck in an alley. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to have to get out of the passenger. If your car's not running, if you don't have any fuel, you got to get out of the passenger door, and you got to start pushing that car out of the alley. And the next thing you're going to see is a street. And the next thing you're going to see is a gas station. Put some goddamn gas in your car and get in the driver's seat. And that's how you're going to get out of your tunnel vision, of your, the depressing city that you're in, and then get in the countryside and see the mountains that people are talking about. But you are not going to get nowhere sitting in a passenger seat of your car looking at the brick wall of the alley you're stuck in. So that's what my message is you are going to go, I am so glad I got out of that damn car and started pushing, because it's true. There are streets full of people, and there's like a meadow filled with flowers and a mountain that's beautiful. But you got to take that first step. And then you got to put the gas in, and then you got to start driving, and then you got to get there, right? And that's all I'm saying. Because when you're looking at that scenery, you're going to thank yourself. This is what I'm saying. The work is hard, and sometimes no one supports you in it, and you have your own doubts, and the people start doubting you, and then shit goes down the hill, and you're like, I knew it. I couldn't do it. That's just not true. That's just not true. And everyone can take steps and take action to get in control of the financial life and get further ahead. So that's the thing. Put in the work, savor, appreciate yourself, appreciate the steps that you've taken, appreciate being on the freaking Periscope on, Sunday going, listen to that crazy lady again talking about money habits. And then, I'll be back on tomorrow. I gotta run because I think there's some birthday party happening for one of my kids' friends, but I'll be on tomorrow at 10 a.m. Like I am every single day. I show up to remind you about money habits. Hi, how are you? To remind you about taking steps towards taking those steps. And it's Monday tomorrow, so we'll be talking about Mint, my favorite app. Why? Because again, I do everything. Yeah, that's good. Good to hear. I do. It is the fundamental part of my money plan is to use Mint as the aggregator for all my financial things. So yeah, I logged in this morning. I looked around, and I went to my Citibank to move some money around. I got an idea. I took out a Post-it, and I started, making the numbers, and, I did it. I took care of my money today. So, and then my money will take care of me in return. Thank you guys for joining. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the engagement and the sharing and all of that. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. bright and early. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Goodbye. Thank you.